Hey guys, it's Luciana. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm gonna say it. How about a sister from another mister? And subscribe and like. And if you're sassy enough, if you're bad boy enough, leave me a comment. Tell me what you're thinking because I want to hear about it, okay? So anyways, today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to you guys about intermittent fasting and how you can actually use it for a weight loss tool. It's again, speak to your doctor because I don't know if you have any illnesses that could kind of play a role in how successful you'll be with intermittent fasting. You don't want to interfere with things. I'm not here to play any games. I'm just here to give you some knowledge so you can make informed decisions. That's all I'm here for. It's my way, but there's other ways. So anyways, this is kind of how I did it, guys. In case you guys don't know, I used to be at my highest 220 pounds and I yo-yoed my diet until like the last couple of years where I kind of fixed a lot more of the psychological components that were leading to a lot of my emotional eating, okay? So if you want to kind of learn a little bit more about psychological stuff that'll help you with your emotional eating, you can check out my other channel. It's called Mental Freedom with Humor, right? With humor. So anyways, so intermittent fasting, guys, as you guys know it, it's really, there's a lot of health benefits that come with it, okay? And especially one that I'm going to mention here is the increase in insulin sensitivity, which a lot of us have problems with. And really, a lot of times when we eat a lot, and especially if it's little meals and depending on the glycemic index of it, it does kind of, the way I like to think about it, it's always a jab on your pancreas, right? It causes a crazy in-spike release of insulin on your body, and if you constantly have these jabs on your pancreas, over time, you know what happens is the diabetes and all the other things that come from diabetes, right? And if you already have the diabetes, then you're kind of already having issues, so you're kind of always hitting that anyways. Again, talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm just Luciana. So anyways, so intermittent fasting, besides having those, that one is one that I really like to touch up on because it affects a lot of other things in your body, and that's the one I talk about. But there's so many more, guys, so many more. Just a quick Google search will tell you these things. So with intermittent fasting, and when you're, let's say you're heavier, let's say we're gonna paint a picture here. Hear me at 220 pounds and I wanna lose weight. But before you do that, you guys need to address a lot of the other things that are making you gain weight, right? But for this argument, we're gonna just say that 220 pounds. I'm a 42-year-old female, and you can check online and a calculator, they'll tell you roughly. These things are just an estimate, okay? Because it doesn't always account for like body mass, how much muscle you have, because muscle burns more calories at rest. And that's why a lot of these bodybuilders, and you know, myself, like I can burn a lot more calories because I have more muscle in my body, right? It's more calorically demanding. So it doesn't always account for that, and your activity, it doesn't know exactly how much you move around. So these things you take with a grain of salt, but it's like good to have a little number to kind of gear us in that direction. And then in the beginning, when we don't know and we're just kind of building, we're going with trial and error, we need something to kind of like a little goal for us to kind of focus on. So get that calculator, and let's say, for argument's sake, you know, 2,000 calories, let's say. Never go too low because it's not going to make you feel well, okay? So we're going to go with 2,000 calories, and you're going from like eating 3,000. Sometimes I would eat like 3,500 calories before. I was so bad. And sometimes days it would be even more than that, way more than that. I was reckless before. So anyways, so you come down to 2,000. But let's say if you're going to spread out that 2,000 throughout the whole day, it's going to be hard because once you kind of, a lot of times we go on momentum, guys. We go on momentum. So let's say if you're eating 2,000 throughout the whole day, you eat one meal, you're going to want to eat more and more and more because from speaking from experience, I would feel uncomfortable with whatever, especially if you ate crap and you didn't eat something healthy. and then you would feel distended or whatever it may be. And regardless, you're going to feel a little distended even if you don't eat a lot, because that's just a normal process that happens in your body. It doesn't matter if you eat a lot or not, it's a normal thing. So intuitive if you think about it. And I know, because when I used to be big, I would feel a lot more distended, and now I'm small, I can eat a little bit and still feel distended a little bit. It's normal. You're expanding something that was at rest a little bit smaller, okay? So now you're kind of doing that. But with intermittent fasting, what it does, guys, it's not something that, there's different research online that'll tell you different, but really it's just to condense your window. It's just to condense your window, so you're not eating throughout the day, all day, because it's harder like that. So if you can kind of condense your window to whatever eating window that you want. Let's say if you want to, I would suggest maybe in the beginning, you do what you want. We're talking about me. We'll do it within a 7-hour eating window. Okay, we'll do that. And then within that eating window, but you also could do 4 hours. I've done 4-hour eating windows before. And then hopefully when you get better and you get in more control of yourself and you don't need all these hacks, all these little things to keep you accountable, then maybe you can do 8 hours, because it's kind of better for you. So then you're not, developing a unhealthy relationship with food, okay? So you're in the beginning because you need to do this, because you need to get healthy. You got to forget about the distension. You got to forget about all the other things that come with it. Check out my other video that tells you about the negatives of intermittent fasting, okay? The side effects, I should say. And they're not bad ones. So you need to do this, because at this point you probably need to save your life. You got to think about it like that. Something that's drastic to kind of sink in you, scare you a little bit, give you a little bit of fear, and give you courage to do things, to get better in the long run, okay? In the long run, this is going to save your life. That's what you got to think about, okay? So you at your eating window, we're saying it's 7 hours. So you're going to eat 2,000 calories from like 3,000. It's going to hit you hard. That's a lot to kind of go low, right? But if you want, you can kind of do it slowly too. That's another approach to it. But I'm just saying, let's say if you're at 3,000, you go down to 2,000, right? Side note, just so you guys, it's like you can do 1 week, you go down 200 calories, and then 200 calories until you get to that main what you should be taking, right? You could do that. That's another approach. But so we're going to do it like this. So you eat 2,000 calories in that window, because by just doing that means over time, because you're used to eating 3,000, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight because you're eating less than what you normally eat. Okay? But I never recommend eating less than what your body needs to eat, and maybe a little bit more depending on your lifestyle, how much you're working out. I don't recommend it. What I recommend is just over time being consistent on eating these 2,000 calories or whatever it is, having those 2,000. And then if you, outside of that window, now you're walking more, you're parking further, you're taking more mental health walks to kind of help you deal with, a lot of the side effects that come in with losing weight, feeling kind of crappy, feeling kind of shitty, feeling very deprived. At the same time feeling empowered, same time feeling courageous and feeling you good that you're working towards a bigger goal, and you're working towards your health, you're saving your life, So all these things happen at the same time, good and bad feelings. You just gotta understand that this is what you're feeling, okay? So you do that, and then you exercise, like you go to the gym. Make sure you're going there, because it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel good because you're also around other people. It's good to kind of socialize too, and be around other people that kind of have the same goal as you. It's good to be in environments that, people have the same goal as you, because it makes you feel empowered and keeps helping you move forward on the days that you forget why you're doing it, forget your why, and forget your long-term stuff, because we all have life. So that's how you can use intermittent fasting to kind of help you, but it's going to really depend on your consistency to keep within that calories. Now, does that mean that sometimes you can't go over it? Yeah, I can go over it, because you're going to, once in a while, you're going to want to go out on that date with your partner. You're going to want to go out with your friends and enjoy a little bit of a meal and have these things outside, because you can't be too restrictive. You got to live life within intuitively, but with moderation. But in the beginning stages, you kind of have to stick to this, maybe a little bit more strict, just so you can kind of save yourself and kind of get yourself to a point. Because once we start losing weight, we start feeling good about yourself. Now we feel we can keep going, right? We can keep going. And then now we're going to lose more weight. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. So that's what I would do. Consistency over time within, and don't, like I used to do this, is like, don't, after having one bad day of eating, after having a bad meal, forgive yourself for it. That's one step of kind of psychologically helping yourself, and not thinking you're now not good on your diet. Now you're bad because you had one. No, it's just you enjoyed life. You went with life. You enjoyed it. That's it. That's how you got to look at it. It's one isolated event and not a big thing. So anyways, guys, again, I'm not your doctor. You guys can just kind of use this as a template and see if it helps you. And like I said, comment, like, and subscribe. And if you like this type of thing, let me know. Have a good one.